Hey guys, Farak here. Okay, today we have a replay between Apina and Dzaronk. Apina is at the moment a hero and DZ is a Warchief. So their ranks are very close. Apina is going to be playing a Shadow Frost deck while DZ is going to be playing pure Shadow. Now it's interesting to note that DZ's deck is not fully upgraded, which I don't understand. At Warchief rank you really need a fully upgraded deck. So I don't totally understand it, but let's see what happens here. Okay, typical T1 fight. Both of them have their S counters, Witch Claws and Dread Chargers, and both of them send them after the other one's Forsakens. Okay, Apina frenzies his Forsaken, which makes them do 100% more damage, or close to 100% more damage. So DZ runs away, because if you run away, eventually they'll just die off from their ability, and they're very strong while their ability is active. The same thing went the other way. DZ frenzied his, so Apina took a well. Alright, taking a well, really risky, because at this point they both still have their S counters, and they both lost one squad of Forsaken. So they're equal in power early in game to immediately put yourself at 100 power disadvantage. I don't agree with. So I think this was a bad move on Apina's part. Okay, since his Forsaken are not dazed, he can immediately frenzy them. DZ puts Life Weaving on his Witch Claws. That was a really bad nasty because the Dread Charger didn't kill anything, but I guess it damaged the Witch Claws enough that the Forsaken finished them off. Still not a fan of that nasty, really. It's not good to nasty Dread Chargers that are really low health. It's a waste of 100 power or so. Alright. Okay, DZ now looks like he's going to get this well down without much of a fight. And Apina makes 2 Forsakens to finish off these guys. Okay, now let me tell you something interesting. Right now you're thinking, oh goodness, Apina just lost 100 power. He lost his well. Well, first of all, already 800 and the well went down about 30 power, which means now it only cost him 70 to build. Also, let's look at the power here. So we have 270 about and 55. I'm not going to do all the math. That'll give me a headache. But something around 325, I think. And DZ has at this point, oh wow, I have no idea, in the 500s. Looks like DZ is up by 200 power right now in total, and they both have one well. But keep in mind that Apina still has 160 power in units. So in reality, that's much smaller, and it's probably about a 40-50 power difference. Now, something interesting you should know. Remember that getting a well down, I mean, here it's 70 power gone. But while he made these Forsaken, DZ, to get down the well, he was basically sacrificing them. And Forsaken are 50 power. When they die, you only get 90% back, which means when they die, 5% is gone permanently. So all of those dazed Forsaken he meant that just died, he made, those are all 5 power, 5 power, 5 power. So in reality, Apina is only about 50 power behind now. Maybe 40, 50 power. So losing a well looked terrible, but it was only a little bad. Not the worst thing in the world. He can certainly recover from that loss. Okay, DZ not microwing his Witch Claws very well. Ran right in the middle of 2 squads of Forsakens. DZ has a bunch more Forsaken over here. And Apina backs off with his Dread Charger. I think he was hoping by bringing the Dread Charger here that DZ would get scared and frenzy these, and then he'll run away and the frenzy would kill the Forsaken. But that is not what happened. And now they frenzy because they know the Dread Charger cannot escape and because they were low in health. Alright, Apina went tier 2. Not my favorite plan. And DZ took a well, which I agree with. Especially since at this point DZ already has a slight power advantage. I'm a very big fan of that. Sorry for pausing so much. I just want to point some stuff out. It's very popular in pro matches that a Night Guard is spawned the minute a player goes Shadow Frost tier 2. Because you're expecting to see some Lost Reavers that are buffed and they're extremely hard to kill. So if you pre-summon your Night Guard and you have it ready beforehand, then once the Reaver comes out, you can do a swap and you get that Reaver. So that basically holds Apina at bay, and now he can't make Reavers because he's scared of this Night Guard. Dark Elf Assassins, probably the strongest T2 squad in the game. Their ability is amazing and probably should get nerfed. Okay, DZ frenzies these guys. Since this is 60 down for 50, this was Apina's loss over here. This ability gives the Dark Elf Assassins incredible attack. He's aiming at the well, which is not a good idea because there's so many units around and he's not going to get the well done anyhow. So there's so many units around, they should have killed them all because they'll just be able to heal now. Alright, he put Life Weaving on this Nightcrawler so it won't die from the knocks, but still. And the well survives with 316 health, and DZ is likely going to heal it up. He should heal his units too. This is not smart. You know, one nasty surprise and he could lose everything here. I don't know what Apina's going to do, but this is bad form. Nox ability, again, wipes out a Nightcrawler. I find that of all the tier 1s, with Shadow, it's the easiest to stay tier 1 versus a tier 2 army. You have Nox, which can destroy any medium unit, even in tier 2. Night Guard, which can swap anything. And Forsaken with Frenzy are just amazing. So I think Shadow makes a great deck to stay tier 1. Okay, Life Weaving on this guy. He frenzies it, so it's going to do 100% more damage. Again, he's not going to get this well done, I don't think. Just too many medium counters here. Medium counter. Yeah, even with Life Weaving. DZ at this time has 4 wells. Apina has 3. Let's look a quick look at power. Apina is at 400 power. And he has 3 things going on. It's 160 over here. So he's at a total of 400 plus 160. It's about 560 power. And DZ is at about 550 plus 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh my goodness. DZ's at a really nice advantage now. About, am I doing my math wrong? This is crazy. Looks like DZ's at a 200 power advantage. Plus, he has an extra well. Wow. 150 advantage. That's not true. It goes into void. Yeah, so DZ's at close to a 200 power advantage and has an extra well. Wow. Good nasty. It resulted in this Nightcrawler dying and these units having very low health now. So it wasn't incredible, didn't kill, but and DZ decides it's time to go tier 2. Oh, I forgot. No wonder why I was saying DZ had a 200 power advantage. He did not, because I forgot Apina had an orb, which is 150. So now DZ is gonna be at about a 50 power advantage, but Apina took 2 more wells, 1 here and 1 there. So now Apina has 1 well above DZ. And at this point, I'm gonna slow down with the math, but at this point he's at about 550 DZ and Apina's at about 500. So now Apina's at a slight disadvantage, 50 power disadvantage, but has an extra well. That's amazing. So Apina turned this around really well somehow. He must have microed really well because he went from being the player who rushed tier 2 to now having the power advantage. And here comes a Harvester. Harvesters are really easy to counter for any Frost Splash deck because you have Lyrish Knight. If you think about it, Lyrish are pretty incredible. Look at their stats for a minute. 400 damage, but they get Surge of Strength. They do 100 more damage near friendly structures, so they're near wells now. You can see by their feet being lit up. They do 800 damage now. They're XL counters, so that makes them do 1200 damage. And with the spell Home Soil near structures, they're going to end up doing close to 1900 damage apiece for only 60 power. There's no way a Harvester can compete with that. But DZ is a Warchief, so I'm sure he's going to think of something. Alright, he uses Unholy Power. There's that Home Soil I was talking about. Now, even with his buff, this... Oh, very cool. Good Night Guard swap. See, these guys with Home Soil were doing incredible damage, so she swapped one out. So not only did Apina lose one of his Lyrish, but he lost his Lyrish to a Lyrish that has buffs now, so interesting. Okay, and Apina tries to get the Harvester but misses, but he does freeze the Undead Army. He's using the Harvester to finish off the units. As long as this fight goes on, this is not good for DZ. Remember, Apina now has an extra well. So while they're having this whole hullabaloo, DZ still only has 4 extra power wells, while Apina has 5. What I like to see is Shadow players use Knight of Chaos. There are 2 different affinities. If they use the blue one, it can stop units from attacking. So if he brings a Harvester with a Knight of Chaos and casts the spell here, then none of Apina's units will be able to attack the Harvester. DZ is now healing up the Harvester, and Apina decides to go tier 3. Shadow, Frost, Shadow. No doubt we'll see, Lost Grigories and whatever else. Silverwind Lancers, I don't know. And DZ as well goes Pure Shadow. If DZ has Void Storm in his deck, he can easily turn this game around now. I know he's at a disadvantage now, but with Void Storm, he can end it really fast because it's a one-click wonder. It'll just kill all enemy units. Here comes a Lost Grigory. Is he using it? He's not using it. I don't know why. Okay, for 100 power, a Lost Grigory can paralyze and disintegrate a unit. Since Shadow doesn't have any crowd control, I don't know why he didn't just disintegrate the Harvester. For 100 power, that seems like a good deal to me, but okay. Cultist Masters, good card. Wow, they're also only... Satanile, it's 1 upgrade. Cultist Masters, 2 upgrade. And Apina is using Silverwood Lancers to get at this orb. Okay, I'm going to go on a limb here. Unstable Demon. Great card, by the way. 75% of the damage it does goes back into its health. It's incredible at taking out orbs and wells. Okay, let me point something out. DZ is using the wrong Knight of Chaos. He's using a purple one, which makes units go crazy and just attack anything, whether it's friendly or not. Over here, where Apina has so many units, some of them are still going to attack the orb and probably get it down. The blue Knight of Chaos prevents enemies from attacking anything. So that would have been smarter, and then he could have healed up his orb. But I'm guessing this orb's going to go down anyhow, because the units don't even know what they're doing right now. Sure enough, it goes down. Alright, it looks like DZ does not have Void Storm, or doesn't want to use it now that he has 2 XL cards. Bad micro keeping these 2 units right next to each other. I think they're out of this Aura of Corruption, but anyhow, why would you keep them so close? He should bring like 1 over here and 1 down here. It's not smart the way he's keeping them together. Looks like this Unstable Demon is taking out these wells pretty quickly. You have to be careful with Unstable Demon. If it gets to full health, it explodes. Yeah, he wasn't microing well. He should have brought it away and then brought it back to finish up the well. Again, DZ should separate his units. I'm going to go on a limb here, and I'm going to say that DZ is not a pure Shadow player. He probably did this just for fun, went into ranked, and then he's like, oh shoot, I got a good player against me. I mean, I see all these cards that are not full upgrades. That's just weird. Any pure Shadow player that does not have a 3 upgraded Harvester, that doesn't make sense. Alright, I told you he should not have kept these 2 XLs together. He did, and they both got caught in this Aura of Corruption, so this Grigory came and is now going to finish them off. And Apina is now finishing off this space. So Apina took what I was certain was going to be a loss and turned it around into a win. Mainly because of 2 reasons. I think one of them is that DZ just didn't have good upgrades. And secondly, DZ he obviously doesn't know Pure Shadow that well. There are many things he should have done differently. He should have used the blue Knight of Chaos. He should have not gone tier 3 when he had a Harvester. He should have either played out that Harvester till it died and then gone tier 3. And he could have used Void Storm, which is an excellent spell. Alright, looks like he built up tier 2 again here, but that's not going to matter. Yeah, that's a good game. Alright, very well done. I'm impressed that Apina turned this around. Still, let's not bash DZ here. This is obviously not the main deck he uses. So, good game. Should we watch this Unstable Demon finish off the last base? Oh, no. And he leaves. Alright, guys, I'll see you in the next video.